Hey, what's up guys? Hope everyone out there is doing well. My name is Mike, and we're about to get into a reaction for the film The Thing from Another World from 1951. This is going to be the oldest movie I've ever reacted to, and I'm excited for this. I have seen the 1982 remake for The Thing. I've seen the prequel that was released in 2011, and there is a reaction for the prequel on the channel. Since I've already seen The Thing, I can't legitimately put that on the channel unless I can force my girlfriend to watch it. So I'm gonna try to work on that. But yeah, I am excited for this. This is a request for two people. I'm sorry if I'm gonna say this first screen name wrong, but it's Level GS1, and also for my man Brandon, Florida. So yeah, I'm just gonna touch on what I see from Google here for just a moment. It's directed by Christian Nyby. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. And yeah, this is from what I saw in the comments that from my The Thing reaction for 2011. People were saying this was slightly different, as in the creature is it's like almost like a Frankenstein kind of thing. But that's essentially all I know about this original film, other than knowing what happened in the 1982 version and in the 2011 prequel. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in, guys. This is The Thing from Another World, 1951. I have never reacted to a black and white film before. Wow, look at that. Pretty much the same logo in the 1982 version. Epic music, too. Based on the story Who Goes There by John W. Campbell Jr. Man, how did they do the snow back then? Did they just have a crap load of little white flakes? Quick, guess who the one guy in the room is that doesn't match? You know, there is an Air Force base in Anchorage.
Hi, Hiya, Scotty. Cold enough for you?
It's called Almendorf. I think it was around back in 1951 also.
McPherson. Hi. Ned Scott, Captain Hendry. Scotty just got in today. Hi. Scotty's a warm weather man.
So am I.
You tell General Fogarty you want to go to Seattle, and Pat and I'll fly you there. It's warm in Seattle. They got girls there. Without fur pants on.
It's not that warm. Warmer than Alaska, though.
What's going on at the North Pole?
Some scientists are holding a convention up there. Well, they're holding about 2,000 miles north of here, a whole bunch. Botanists, physicists,
Including
electronic...
a pinup girl. Very interesting type, too.
Hendry, report to General Fogarty's quarters at once, please.
8 o'clock at night and a general yelling for his troops. Hey, Captain, if it amounts to anything, ring me in on it, will you please? Sure.
I don't know if that would be acceptable. Maybe off the record, if he's feeling helpful.
Come in. Close the door.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir. Red. Perhaps didn't take you long to get here. Just got a queer message from your picnic party up north. Dr. Carrington himself. Believe an airplane unusual type crashed in our vicinity. Please send facilities to investigate. Most urgent. What do you suppose you'd find up there besides a good-looking girl?
I don't know, sir. Any of our ships missing?
No?
No Canadians either.
Could be Russians. They're all over the pole like flies.
Take along a dog team or anything you might need for rescue. Come in. Close the door.
You know, if he was just patient, they are going to shut the door after they walk in.
Well, look, I'll expect you back sometime tomorrow night.
Yes, sir. And I'll close the door.
Close the door. Just tell me what you find up there.
Nothing good. I'm wondering if it's going to be... It would have to be, yeah, a spacecraft. I didn't know if it would be different, because in this one it's more like a Frankenstein creature, but yeah, it's a thing from another world, so... Wow, look at that. U.S. Air Force. I have no idea what kind of aircraft that is, and I was in the Air Force. So these are Air Force boys.
Mr. Scott, coffee.
Oh, are we there?
No, sir. Hot coffee up front, sir.
I had to take a sip of my coffee when they said that.
Hello, Air Force 191, Polar Expedition 6. Can you read me?
Air Force 191. Hear you, by text. Go ahead.
What's your position?
3 hours out.
We've got some kind of disturbance up here, and it's whacking away at everything.
What do you figure it's from?
Don't know. We noticed it last night. You better home in on me. I'll leave the key open.
I wonder if they actually filmed in Alaska for all of this. You can only make so much fake snow, you know? They would have to film on location. Man, landing in weather like that must be challenging. Maybe not for that type of aircraft, but the bases I was stationed at, if there was like really snowy weather like that, they would just close the flight line down. And it would have had to be a aircraft that's stationed out of Allmendorf. They probably let them use this. The Air Force, huh? Okay, doing a head count. I see 8 people here. Probably more inside. So it has quite a bit of people, like the 82 version as well, huh? God, you know, for me, like they were saying earlier, I'm a warm-blooded person. I like warm weather. I would be freezing there.
Practically the North Pole. Looks more like my old Kentucky home.
Mr. Scott, Mrs. Chapman.
Pleasure, Mrs.
Hello,
Chapman.
Doctor. Nice to see you. Dr. Chapman, Mr. Scott.
Dr.
Hello.
Chapman.
Scotty's a newspaper man.
You've come at an opportune time.
Hope you have a good story.
Where's Dr. Carrington?
He's in the lab.
I mean that you've actually seen
Coffee,
the
Captain?
No,
Hey, you know what? To be honest, I didn't think I was gonna see any other races in this movie. We got some Asians. My Asian brothers there. All right.
Hi, Pat. How was your...
They know each other.
Well, how was your trip?
It's all right, not usual.
I think Dr. Carrington wants to see you. We had a lot of fun when you were up here. And then when you asked me down to Anchorage, you deliberately fed me a lot of...
Tell me something. Did you really drink all those drinks?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't throw any away or anything? Not a one? Holy cat. I thought I was good.
I guess he's the lightweight when it comes to alcohol.
When I woke up in the morning, you were gone.
I told you I had to take that cargo plane back here.
You told me?
Don't you remember?
No.
I was wasted because I'm a lightweight.
Look, my only excuse is that I liked you. So I started wrong. Can't we begin all over?
How
Can't
would
we?
you begin?
Well, I can think of several.
We don't have time for that now anyway. I know Dr. Carrington's waiting to see you.
Hello, Captain.
Ah yes, those old style flashing screens. It's been a long time since I've seen a little screen like that in a movie.
Dr. Carrington, Captain Henry's here.
Yes, I know.
Yes, I'm
How do you
aware.
do, Captain?
You mind telling me where we're going, Doctor?
48 miles due east from here.
Your missus said an airplane crash. Is that what we're looking for?
Not
I
exactly.
don't know, Captain.
I think you better explain,
Oh,
Doctor. I
I'm
can-
sorry. Miss Nicholson, would you read Captain Henry my first notes? I was thinking only of the vagueness of my information. I dislike being vague.
November 1st.
Yesterday.
6:15 p.m. Sound detectors and seismographs registered explosion due east. At 6:18, magnetometer revealed deviation 12 degrees 20 minutes east. Such deviation possible only if a disturbing force equivalent to 20,000 tons of steel or iron ore
20,000 tons.
had become part of the Earth at about a 50-mile radius.
Getting a bit beyond me, but it sounds like a meteor, doesn't it, Doctor?
Yes, very much, except for one thing.
It's causing a disturbance.
We have some special telescopic cameras. On the appearance of radioactivity, a Geiger counter trips the release and the cameras function. This is the result. This first picture was taken 3 minutes before the explosion. You can see the small dot low there in the corner. On the next picture, 1 minute later, that dot is moving from west to east, moving fast enough to form a streak. Here at 6:14, it's moving upward, drops to the earth, and vanishes. A meteor might move almost horizontal to the earth, but never upward.
Then it isn't a meteor.
That's obvious.
20,000 tons of steel is an awful lot of metal for an airplane.
It is for the sort of airplane we know.
Yeah, we better be going.
I thought you'd think so.
So, were they saying something about radioactivity? I feel like they would need some protection for that if that's the case.
Yeah, that's it, all right.
What was that thing at the tip there?
Fasten your seatbelts, gentlemen. We're gonna land.
Oh, maybe they weren't Asians back there. Maybe they were Inuits? Wonder how well those, like, ski shoes help.
This Geiger counter's going crazy.
Something smelled of that surface crust that's frozen over again into clear ice.
The bottle shape apparently was caused by the aircraft first making contact with the Earth out there at the neck of the bottle.
With the engine or engines generating enough heat to melt that path, then sink beneath the surface.
Oh, okay.
Take the dogs over on that side.
They probably actually had some trained sledding dogs for this, huh?
May I suggest that we spread out and try to determine the size and shape?
Right. Spread out, everybody. We're going to try to figure out the shape of this thing.
You would think they might want to be careful about falling through the ice.
Holy cat. Hey.
Oh yeah, they're discovering it's round. It's a saucer.
Almost a perfect...
It is. It's round.
Finally got one.
We found a flying saucer. What a story. Where's that Hey, Barn!
Hold it, Scott. Sorry, no private messages.
What do you mean private? I'm going to send it to the whole
I
world.
wish you could, but this is Air Force information. We'll have to wait for authority to let you file a story.
That's right. That's what I figured.
For your information, it's called freedom of the press, and I'm sending a story.
Our ship,
No,
Scott.
that's not how it works.
You can't cover it up. Think what it means to the
I'm
world.
not working for the world, Scott. I'm working for the Air Avtex Radio Fogarty. We found a flying saucer.
What about
also
me?
ask if Scott can have clearance to send a story. Yes, that's all I can do, please.
He asked. They're gonna tell him no, but
Hey, What will this thermite do?
Standard operating procedure for removing ice.
It's gonna make a boom boom.
It'll uncover the whole saucer in 30 seconds.
Really? Look at those dogs, just chilling.
A few minutes from now, we may have the key to the stars. 1,000,000 years of history are waiting for us in that ice.
Let her go, Bob.
Wow.
Burning under the ice.
Careful, Captain.
You'd think they'd be worried about that damaging the aircraft.
Get down flat, everybody!
Dang, the dogs would have been screwed if there was shrapnel. Everyone else got down, but the dogs don't really know what's going on.
Sergeant, will you try your Geiger counter?
Only a trace.
See, I feel like even a residual trace of radioactivity would not be good.
Standard operating procedure. I should have thought. Greatest discovery in history, up in flames.
It's a pretty bad blunder.
May salvage something yet.
That was pretty idiotic. You'd think they would have been better at knowing this would damage the ship.
What is it? Looks like a man. Yeah, it's got legs and a head. I can see him. He must be over 8 feet long.
Somebody got out of that saucer.
Got out or was thrown out and frozen fast.
Here's some axes. You can chop around to put the whole block in the sled. Eddie, get the ship warmed up.
Okay. Wonder if it's gonna be a big-ass block of ice. Like in, the remake. Dang, they didn't even show, like, they fast-forwarded to them having the block of ice. I would have liked to see some footage of them getting it out of the ground and getting it on the aircraft.
The Air Force has discontinued investigating and evaluating reported flying saucers on the basis that there is no evidence.
Probably make you a general for destroying evidence that they're wrong.
God, how heavy do you think that is? They have no special equipment to, like, get it on the aircraft. Other than the sled, I mean, but, you know, nothing that's, no powered equipment. This looks like it's gonna turn out bad.
Hold it! Pull back there!
Oh my gosh.
Keep tight on those ropes! Easier.
I don't know how they kept grip on the top without sliding.
What do we do now? Defrost him?
Well, this ice will melt pretty soon. We can probably chip it away.
I'm sorry, Professor. We're not going to melt it or chip it. Eddie, open that window, will you?
You mean we're not allowed to examine it, to
I mean
investigate
just that,
whether
Doctor.
This is stupid.
A scientist.
Sorry. I already pulled one boner out there in the ice.
Hold one boner?
Until I receive instructions from my superior officer on what to do, we'll just have to mark time.
Captain, you have no
Oh,
authority.
I'd like to talk about it further. We better do it in the corridor. It's going to get pretty cold in here.
You know, I'm usually kind of, I have this urge to push back against authority. I'm sure a lot of people do, but in this case, this is pretty sensitive stuff. I would say the military is in charge here.
These same organisms may be dangerous. They may be carrying disease germs from another planet, germs we couldn't cope with medically.
Thank you, Doctor.
Fogarty to Henry. Withhold newspaper story until permission from Air Force HQ.
There you are, Scotty.
Mm-hmm.
Fine, now somebody else will
Knock
get
it
the
off,
story.
Scotty.
Remove aircraft from ice at once. Use thermite bombs if
They're not going to let anyone make a report on this yet.
erect temporary structure to protect aircraft until my arrival. And here's another one. Came a few minutes ago. Could only get part of it. Everything grounded. Can't join you. Something or other.
Tex, I'd like to leave Barnes here to help out all he can.
Sure, Captain.
Barnes, keep trying to get through. Tell him the aircraft was completely destroyed by the thermite bomb. Tell him we found a
You
passenger
got a
at the
fellow
wreck.
from Mars? Where?
On ice, buddy, on ice.
Tell him we're keeping the body in a block of ice, and Dr. Carrington wants permission to remove the body from the ice for examination. We're standing by for instruction before further action. You got anything to add to that, Doctor?
Yes, one very essential point, that I consider it vitally important that the examination be made.
By all
Decidedly.
means, yeah.
I have that, Barnes.
When you get your answer, I'll expect you to let me know.
I'm finding it very hard to find moments to comment in this, because the dialogue just keeps going and going and going. I have thoughts, but I'm kind of losing some of them waiting for a moment for things to stop so I can comment, but just so you know, I'm having a tough time. I'm saying less than I normally would in a reaction video. But yeah, I still agree that the military should be in charge of this one. It sounded like they just got some kind of broken up message that planes are grounded at the other bases, which I wonder what that's about. That's kind of crazy.
Oh, Captain, I'm going out and check the ship and tie it down good. We'll need our gear, too. This storm may blow for a couple of weeks.
Get some of those Eskimos to help you.
Oh, they took off when they saw that cake of ice. They'll need a lot of coaxing to get them back.
They were smart.
Geniuses are really ready to tear you apart.
Ah, they're kids, most of them.
You know what it reminds me of?
The time I was stuck on Bulan Island with the old 97th Bomber Group. An Army nurse came ashore one day and caused just about the same disturbance as this guy from Mars has around here.
What is that supposed to imply?
Hey, Barnes, any word come through from General Fogarty?
Plenty. Nothing about you, sir.
Coming through pretty scrambled, sir, but I understand there's been a leak in the newspapers.
I knew it.
Dang, how
Like
did
pouring
they...
water through
Everybody
a wants more information. Congress, Secretary of State, and especially General Fogarty. He's having a fit.
If there's a leak, then he can go ahead and just, you know, screw it. He shouldn't have any kind of, feel any loyalty to anyone. Just report on it. He's gonna have the first-person view of all this stuff.
I don't like to bother you like this, Captain, but it's about Lieutenant McPherson sitting in there with that thing in that block of ice.
Getting nervous.
You wouldn't want me to tell you, sir, but he's having kittens. I haven't heard him squawk like this since we were over Reagan.
What does that mean, having kittens?
It's got crazy hands and no hair, and the eyes, well, they're open and they look like they can see.
You take over at 2400 and I'll relieve you at 0200.
I think you're right, sir.
2-hour shifts. Not bad. He's gonna be trying to holler at her his whole time here.
I want to talk to you.
They didn't bother with any kind of romance stories in the remake.
I like the way you handle this whole mess, Pat. You're much nicer when you're not mad.
And when you're sober.
I think I'll buy you a drink this time.
You can tie my hands if you want to.
That might not be such a bad idea.
All right, I'll bring a rope.
What? They really did. Wow.
You know, I'm glad we decided to start over again. I like it.
What? He didn't
I
kiss
like
back?
that too.
No, we're talking about Japanese tortures.
No, not at all. I think this was a great idea. Come here.
Just take it. All right, buddy. Wow, look at this thing. Looks like a standard stereotypical alien there.
That's better.
What was that about? Oh, a heating blanket. Ah. What are the dogs? They just keep them out in the open like that? Without shelter? Uh-oh. I didn't expect this guy to live, honestly.
What's the matter, Corporal?
Dr. Chapman, where's the captain? I've got to tell you, that thing's alive. It's not dead. It's Captain Henry.
Put the gun down.
Sir, I saw it. I shot at it. I hit it. I know it.
There you go.
Nothing happened. It just kept coming at me, making a noise like a cat mewing. Captain, it was awful. If you could have seen those hands and those eyes. Captain, you've got to do something about it. You've got...
Steel yourself, man.
I shot at it and hit it. Nothing happened, so I slammed the door and ran.
Easy, easy.
Why were the dogs freaking out? They could just sense something? Just jumped right out.
Here's what did it. The blanket was on and it's still warm.
It's outside now.
Listen, I'm tearing to pieces.
Save him. Hold it, Doctor.
You mustn't be hurt.
Freeze to death out there in 5 minutes. Use your head.
I don't think he's in any danger. Those dogs might be. Oh, wow! I didn't think they would be showing something like that. He's trouncing them.
Hey, Doc, can you see anything out there?
A bunch.
You all set?
There you go.
Those are some well-trained dogs. Oh no! Wait. What? Those dogs, I guess they did. The dogs did F him up.
Captain Henry, it would help me if you, any of you, would describe what you saw out there.
Too cold to see well, but the dogs had him down tearing at him.
Yeah, I saw him get up with 3 of them hanging on his arm.
Then he threw one dog at the rest.
When we got there, 2 of them were dead.
Or they looked like they'd been through a chopper.
Where did you find the arm?
It was partly under what I'm wanted.
Or did the thing leave the arm there on purpose?
Something between a beetle's back and a rose thorn.
Thorn-fingered, huh?
Amazingly strong. There's no blood in the arm, no animal tissue. I doubt very much if it can die, as we understand dying.
How would he know that? You just saw an arm. You would have had no idea.
Porous, unconnected cellular growth.
Sounds like
like you're trying to describe a vegetable.
I am. Are you getting all of this?
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Quiet. The bullets fired by Sergeant Barnes had no seeming effect.
That's right.
Merely holes drilled into vegetable matter.
Like plant sap.
Interesting. They're coming at this at an angle I didn't expect.
You're describing some form of super carrot.
That's nearly right, Mr. Scott. This carrot, as you call it, has constructed an aircraft capable of flying some millions of miles.
An intellectual carrot. The mind boggles.
Shouldn't. Imagine how strange worms, fish, lizards were going to evolve into us. The planet from which our visitor came, vegetable life underwent an evolution similar to that of our own animal.
That is so interesting and cool. Evolution from plants like that. That's completely possible. On a long enough scale.
You mean there are vegetables right here on Earth that can think?
Certain kind of thinking, yes. You ever hear of the telegraph line? Is it the acanthus century plant, Dr. Stern?
Yes. Well, the century plant catches mice, bats, squirrels, any small mammals, uses a sweet syrup as bait, then holds onto its catch and feeds on it.
And what's the telegraph vine?
Well, a vine, research has proven, can signal to other vines of the same species. Vines 20 to, 100 miles away.
Wow. Have you guys seen the show The Last of Us? That sounds like something similar to that.
I took this from under the soft tissue in the palm of the hand.
Seed pod.
Seed pod? Yeah.
I did not see this coming. That they would plant-based alien. Plant evolution-based alien.
If we can only communicate with it, we can learn secrets that have been hidden from mankind since the beginning of...
What is it?
It's moving. 12:10 a.m., the hand became alive.
It's gonna turn into something else.
Because of this rise in temperature, I believe it was able to ingest the canine blood with which it was covered.
You mean it lives on blood?
Where are you going, Captain?
Find our visitor if we can.
One moment, Captain. Captain, when you find what you're looking for, remember it's a stranger in a strange land. The only crimes involved were those committed against him.
That is like Frankenstein.
You can do anything you want with it, provided it's locked up in a safe place.
We're already like halfway through this movie and no one has been killed, except for dogs.
Hey, what are you guys looking for?
You couldn't come in here.
Who couldn't come in?
Man from Mars.
You mean he's alive and running around loose?
Keep your door locked, Tex, and watch who you let in. Use your
Find a
fire
weapon,
axe.
too.
Your gun's no good.
There you go.
What do you
Use
mean
your
a
fire
gun?
axe.
Eddie?
This facility is a cool little set piece.
There's something in here, all right?
No, you're a little off base. That's the mineralogy lab. We've got radioactive isotopes in there.
Geiger's reacting
Jeez.
to a room full of uranium ore samples.
And they're just walking around beside it and in it with no protection.
None of the others were locked. What's in here?
The greenhouse.
You know, in my job, the claims I handle, there's a claim where someone just walked through radiation and got sick from that. Just from like where it was on the bottom of someone's shoe. And they had no protection and got sick from it. Yet these guys are just like in the base, no protection at all. And they're fine.
Well, Doctor?
Captain, I had...
Nothing up that other quarter, Pat.
It's obviously not inside.
Start looking outside as soon as it's light.
Close the door, please.
You're going to have to tell General Fogarty what happened.
So few people can boast that they've lost a flying saucer and a man from Mars all on the same day.
Yeah, pretty good track record.
Gentlemen, I just happened to notice. Look at these molds.
Well, they're wilted. The only thing
A blast of icy air if that rear door was opened. Well, look at that lock, will you, Professor?
Yes, 10 or 15 seconds of such exposure would do it.
What would that lead you to?
That it may have been in here.
Uh-oh.
Without a doubt.
It's a smear of plant sap.
And no gloves. Get a weapon ready or something. Oh. Dang, that was a jump scare. Wow.
Doesn't it seem kind of shrunken? Is there any blood in there?
Its blood has been drained.
It drank it. It drank it like a Capri Sun.
It came here for refuge, heard us, and ran.
It drank that wolf like a Capri Sun.
You'd better tell Captain
I don't agree with you, Doctor. I think it far better if science rather than
Doctor,
the
are you
army
sure this is the best thing to do?
I'm sure we can communicate with it. We must. It's our only chance to talk to it.
Dr. Carrington is
Surely
right.
you can understand that, Stern. Will you stand guard here with me tonight, Voorhees? Stern, tell Dr. Auerbach and Dr. Olson what we've found. Ask them to come back and relieve us in the morning.
What's the kill count now? 3 dogs?
To confide in no one.
Don't even tell the military guys? This is gonna backfire.
This came in clear about 10 minutes ago, and then it got fouled up again.
Fogarty to Hendry. Take all precautions to preserve aircraft carefully until my arrival.
Too late.
Fogarty to Hendry. Acknowledge immediately. Fogarty to Hendry. Waiting report. Silence confusing.
It's not much he has to tell him. They blew up the aircraft, so... Oh no!
The greenhouse. See?
Barnes, get out there and watch that
There was
corridor.
3 of them on watch, right?
Attention, everybody in camp. Stay where you are and bolt your doors. Our visitor has returned and is dangerous. Stay where you are until notified and bolt your doors. Stay where you are.
In the greenhouse, I was working. I couldn't see. I heard Olson scream. When I turned, the thing struck at me. Then I must have fallen. When I came to, I saw Olson and Auerbach. They were both hanging from the beams upside down. They were dead. Their throats were cut.
Was it still there when you left?
I couldn't see.
Wow. Hung him up like meat. 3 dogs, 2 humans.
Pat, I want a picture. You get back with the rest. Don't be silly.
You can get a picture. You don't have to tell him. Just hang back and be safe. Oh! Jeez! Another jump scare! Wow! Wow! It actually took a piece of the door when the hand went back in.
Get somebody to prop this door, quick!
Wow! I'm sure that's just like balsa wood, but still, that's awesome. That thing does look like Frankenstein.
Dr. Carrington, we just learned you found a dog in there, bled white by a visitor. You didn't report it. Why?
I didn't consider it
But
necessary.
it was necessary to let 2 of your friends in there to be killed.
I posted them as a guard. I was in there
Dr.
myself
Stern
for
was
5
right. I
hours.
just looked through that door. They're hanging in there upside down like in a slaughterhouse. I wish you'd seen it. You, Doctor, you're limited to your room, laboratory, and the mess hall. This thing's finished.
You better move along.
He doesn't even give a shit about his comrades. That's pretty crappy.
You sent for us, Doctor.
Why does the film look different in this scene?
Gentlemen, we find ourselves in a battle. 2 of our colleagues have died. The 3rd is injured. This creature is more powerful and more intelligent than we are. He regards us as important only for his nourishment. That is our battle. Only science can conquer him. All other weapons will be powerless.
Not all other weapons. You get a bomb big enough.
Sorry, I'm very tired. I haven't slept. Difficult to talk.
Or have him hug a grenade or something.
Please read my notes.
At 9 p.m., I placed the seeds taken from the severed hand of X in 4 inches of earth. I saturated the earth with 2 units of plasma taken from our blood bank. The condition of the dog found in the greenhouse indicated that blood was a primal factor in the cultivation of the seeds. 2 a.m., the first sprouts appeared through the soil.
5 hours?
No.
Yes. I used another 2 units of plasma. 4 a.m., the sprouts began to take on definite form.
I grew some new creatures to kill us. Oh man. I get it, but this is pretty reckless.
It reproduces itself. Amazing speed.
You need to kill those.
When he saw the creature in the door of the greenhouse, it seemed to have grown a new arm.
You need to kill those immediately. Burn them.
Notice these closer to the source of the plasma, while these farther away.
How many units have we?
Enough, I hope.
You're gonna keep going? This is so weird. Really good effects on those little flowers, too.
Well? Almost like the wail of a newborn child.
This guy's reckless, man.
I think you should get some sleep.
There's too much to do, Professor Wilson.
But your mind can't work if you're exhausted.
My mind's still perfectly clear.
No, it isn't, Doctor.
No, it really isn't.
You aren't thinking what's happening there in the greenhouse. He's growing those seeds in there using blood, just as you are. You've seen what one creature like that can do. Imagine 1,000.
I have imagined it.
What if that aircraft came here not just to visit the Earth, but to conquer it, to start growing some kind of horrible army? This is an enemy right here.
There are no enemies in science, Professor. Only phenomena to study.
This guy's a moron. What a freaking idiot. He wants to end the world just to document, okay, this is how these creatures exist. Like, what's he gonna be doing when there's like 1,000 of these things running around? They're in the corner with a pad and a pen. Ah, I see.
What's Carrington doing with 35 units of blood plasma, Nicky?
Have a look at those notes. Should be trying to stop you.
He's gonna bricks.
So that's what he's been doing. Thanks for not stopping me.
He's tired. He hasn't slept since you found that thing.
They need to, like, knock him out. They need to force him to rest.
Like a kid with a new toy. He'll just...
Only this toy's liable to bite him. Thanks again.
Bite his head off. And then jam a straw into the stump on his neck. Drink.
I understand you've been doing a bit of gardening. Where are they?
Why?
Way to the nursery, Pat.
I don't tolerate intrusions into my laboratory.
This is what your late colleagues are doing in the greenhouse, Doctor. Except this is a distinct improvement.
What happened in the greenhouse was not my fault.
We've read your notes, Arthur.
Yeah?
I think you should have consulted the rest of us. The creature in the greenhouse is obviously multiplying itself in this identical fashion. It'll need more blood, and it'll make every effort to obtain what it needs.
Think of 1,000 of such creatures. 10,000. Yes, it must be destroyed.
Think of just two. Just two would, like, do some serious damage.
Finally got a message through, and here's the answer. Fogarty to Henry. Carrington informs me Martian alive. You are directed to make effort to keep it alive and protect it against injury. Under no circumstances take action against it until my arrival when weather permits.
You have your orders, Captain Henry. I consider them sane and intelligent.
Okay, but you still can't be breeding these things. You're gonna have to go in there anyway. Maybe do your best not to hurt the big creature, but you gotta kill the little plants somehow. Burn them.
What happens if our boyfriend gets lonely and starts strolling around?
I've been trying to figure that, too.
Nothing seems to hurt us.
Fire.
Boil it.
What'd you say?
Boil it, do it, bake it, fry it.
Hey, that makes sense.
Cold doesn't bother it.
0.3, 0.4.
Before we start cooking.
0.5.
What does that mean? It's moving?
Watch it, everybody. That thing's out of the greenhouse. Be sure and stay together.
What about throwing kerosene on it and setting it on fire?
We can try. Get that.
Here's a boat can.
I'll take it, sir.
Here just happens to be one right next to us.
If it comes in, you wet it down. And you, Matt, touch it off.
1.4.
Come here. Get in the corner. Now hold this in front of you. Stay by the light switch.
What is that about? Whoa! Oh man! That's actually a guy on fire too. Dang, and he put himself out. Or was going to. Now they gotta put this fire out.
Watch it, Captain!
Wow, that was impressive. That was actually a man on fire.
Here you are, sir. This will make your hand feel better.
This is quite different than the 1982 thing. Nothing about infecting people or anything like that.
Captain, I just thought of something. You said you were going to use kerosene again. You know anything better? We have enough cable to stretch to the greenhouse. Why not use electricity? We can hook in a new transformer Dr. Chapman's been using. It's a high-voltage outfit and will give us plenty of amps. Enough to burn them? More than enough.
The guy with glasses looks like Zachary Quinto. I don't know if you guys know him.
It's getting cold in here.
The heat must be off.
It is off. It's not getting any oil. See if it's the same way in the room across the hall.
Oh, the thing probably messed with the,
No more oil coming in.
the tank.
Could the tank be empty?
Filled day before yesterday.
Better get outside and fix it.
Probably run smack into our visitor. We'll be waiting for you to do just that.
Trying to freeze us out, huh?
How long do these rooms hold any heat? Half an hour at the most.
By then we'll all be
Well,
stiff
look,
as
if no one goes out to fix that oil line, won't it think of something else?
You'll think the same thing I am, that our only chance to keep warm would be electricity.
We're putting everybody in the generator room and try to fight it from there.
Better than even money he'll come through this corridor.
Yeah, it's the only way left. So, too. You got any fence wire strong enough to take your voltage?
Oh, rolls of it, yeah.
That'll work, Lieutenant.
Sure. What'll work? Lay it on the ground. Here.
One overhead and one on each side.
The dialogue is too fast. It's almost so fast that you can tell it's scripted. They're almost responding before they can even think about what the other person is saying almost.
Keep moving, everybody.
Captain, I want another word.
No time now, Doctor. Move along.
Yes, please.
Still the same kill count. 3 dogs, 2 humans. I sure hope they did something about those plants that they were growing.
Fogarty to Henry. Use every means to protect lives of entire party, but take no steps against your prisoner.
Here you are again. You can't ignore orders from your commanding officer.
I'll testify to that effect in my court-martial.
You're doing more than breaking army orders. You're robbing science of the greatest secret that's ever come to it.
Better go back, Doctor.
Knowledge is more important than life, Captain.
I mean, if you're the doctor, I guess this really doesn't matter. Because you're secretly trying to grow hundreds of them.
We've fought our way into nature. We've split the atom.
Yes, and that sure made the world happy, didn't it?
We owe it to the brain of our species to stand here and die without destroying a source of wisdom.
Captain Henry, go ahead.
Captain, I'm getting a reaction from the Geiger counter.
What's your reading?
Only 0.2, but steady.
Watch it. Tell us any change.
How can it get cold so quick?
Keep moving around. You're no good if you're too cool.
Come on, Mr. Martian, and get some nice Scotch blood. 100 proof.
It just might.
Going up. 0.8 now. I'm getting some too, Pat.
Showing here now.
Oh, maybe there's more than one at this point.
Bill, you and Tex go with him. Mickey, you too.
Pat,
No.
good luck to you.
She argued for like 0.5 seconds.
What if we haven't enough voltage?
Just keep swinging on its arms.
1.2.
It's on its way.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Go for the limbs, and then, you can incapacitate him from moving, and then you can just burn all the parts without him running away.
Stay away from the walls when he hits the juice. Everybody got rubber boots on?
1.8.
I heard something.
It's getting near the top.
Is he gonna come through the roof? Oh. What the heck? Those barriers didn't do crap. How does he have a uniform, too? Did he have a uniform the whole time? Oh, this plant is carrying a weapon.
What the? Juice is off.
Pat! Carrington turned off the generator!
Oh, bring the flashlight.
Oh, that bastard. That dirty son of a bitch.
Keep away. Keep away. I won't allow you to destroy.
Good.
Turn on that generator. Get back here, Eddie.
He's gone now. Oh, he's still there. Juice him up. What an idiot.
Stay away from that wire. Listen, I'm your friend. Look, I have no weapons. I'm your friend. Don't go any farther. They'll kill you. They think you mean to harm us all. But I want to know you, to help you. Believe that. Just look at me and know what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not your enemy.
It's gonna kill him.
I'm a scientist who's trying.
Whitney gets right in the middle of it, sir. He's got to be on that walk, Captain.
Think smart enough to attack the oil tank, but not smart enough to know he's walking into a trap. There you go. Oh man. For the time, these are some cool effects.
Turn it off. Let it go. We don't want any part of it left.
Kind of makes you wonder what electric current would do to a plant.
You can get a picture now, Scotty.
You should have taken a picture when it was like walking towards them. Fail. What a rookie. Journalist in Okinawa didn't snap off a picture when that thing was still coming towards him.
So take a minute to warm up.
What about the other plants, though? They're gonna have to fry the ones in the greenhouse and the ones that the other doctor was creating.
Get everything?
Yeah, we burned everything in Carrington's lab and in the greenhouse.
Burnt the arm, too. Nothing left but ashes.
Good.
How is Dr. Carrington?
He's got a broken collarbone and a bad headache.
I can't believe so many people survived this one. I didn't expect that.
Tell General Fogarty we've sent for Captain Hendry. He'll be here in a few minutes. Over.
Roger, over.
All right, fellas, here's your story. North Pole, November 3rd. Ned Scott reporting. One of the world's greatest battles was fought and won today by the human race. Here at the top of the world, a handful of American soldiers and civilians met the first invasion from another planet. A man by the name of Noah once saved our world with an ark of wood. Here at the North Pole, a few men performed a similar service with an ark of electricity. And now, before giving you the details of the battle, I bring you a warning. Watch the skies everywhere. Keep looking. Keep watching the skies.
Wow. Ended positive. Okay. We just got done watching The Thing from Another World. Not what I was expecting, you know, based on what I knew about this, the 1982 film and the 2011 prequel. They really made those other movies their own, you know, like Carpenter did. This was quite different. And it was a good movie. I really like the angle this one was coming from, as far as the creature being a plant-based, like a plant evolution kind of deal. That was really unique and cool. And if you think about it, yeah, on a long enough scale, plant life could evolve into something like this, you know? So I thought that was really fascinating. A lot of this I have to put myself, I'm trying to put myself back through time, so that I don't look at this from an angle of, you know, in a world where the technology is so much better. But for the time, this must have been an awesome movie, and must have had some pretty good effects. The acting was good. The only problem I had with the acting was that while everyone was really good at knowing their lines from the script, they were responding way too fast to where it was almost unrealistic, and almost immediately responding when the other person finished their lines. That's not even realistic to real life. You know, people don't respond that fast. And that's also part of the problem of why I didn't have too many spots to comment on, unless I was just forcefully talking over the dialogue. And there was just not many moments in this movie where the dialogue stopped. Those moments were rare. Aside from that, like I said, the acting was good. I like the story, and I like their idea of how this creature came to be. I think some people in this made some dumb choices, but I think that was part of the conflict, and that was intentional. Like Dr. Carrington, he was trying to grow those things on his own to study them, and didn't realize that these things are also a threat. And, you know, I think even if he was saying like, I'm so tired, but I can't rest, I need to study these things, even with a clear head, I think he would have been, you know, a nut job. So, rightfully so, they had to incapacitate him in order to stop this thing. Now, as far as the creature, honestly, it was okay. It could have been better. I think they could have made this thing less humanoid. It looked like Frankenstein. And I just, you know, I would have almost preferred the stereotypical alien design. Just a green guy, naked, bug eyes, you know, black bug eyes. That would have been even more realistic, I think, than humanoid like this. But for what they had, I get it, and it was cool. It was like the comment on my The Thing 2011 reaction said, yeah, it was like Frankenstein. Now, if I could touch on the differences between this and the other two movies, John Carpenter's 82, The Thing, John Carpenter really, you know, he might as well have had almost an original story. You know, with this just being the slightest basis of comparison and origin, because his not a plant creature, the blood can infect people and turn them, assimilate them into another version of what they were. You know, John Carpenter really expanded on this and ran with it. I do appreciate this film for what it is as the original, but I have to say what John Carpenter was able to do with the story, not even taking into account the greater technology he had available to him in 82, just the story alone, I think is quite an improvement. And yeah, but I think I've said everything I need to about this one. Again, for 1951, this must have been pretty spectacular. It was still a captivating watch in 2023. So yeah, I appreciate this film, and it was enjoyable. Oh, one last thing I'll say. So I think the finale, the climax of this film could have been a little bit cooler. I think it would have been nice to see a couple more people get taken down by this thing. It almost seemed too easy. You know what I mean? There should have been a couple more casualties, just in my opinion. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to wrap this one up. Last thing I'll do before I do so is give my rating on this. You know, again, I have to keep myself... I have to ground myself in the fact that this is an older movie. So I would give this one a 7.5 out of 10. I think that's fair. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. I hope you got something out of it. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to hang out with me. If you have any other movies you want me to check out, please let me know in the comments. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.